The very people who were trying and mocking Jesus were the ones Jesus came to save. Have you ever thought about it from that perspective? Because look, Jesus came for everyone to put their hope and faith, in hopes they would put their hope and faith in him and receive salvation. Jesus came for every last one of us. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter when we put our hope and faith in him, we will be with him in paradise. We'll read about that shortly, what he says to one of the other men who was being crucified with him. Jesus promised him in his final minutes that he would be with him in paradise. And so he had lived a whole life of sin, but yet those last few minutes he committed himself to Jesus. That's hard to wrap my head around, really, that even in your final seconds, as long as you put your hope and faith in him and turn to him in those last few moments, that you will receive heaven for eternity. But that's the kind of love that Jesus is all about. Far more comprehensible than any one of us can really understand until we get to the other side and see for ourselves. We can act like we understand it, but I don't think we really understand it until we get there and experience it for ourselves. Because what Jesus went through, again, these people who it says spit on him, slapped him in the face, mocked him to his face, were offered the same salvation that you and I are offered. And who knows, maybe some of these people did realize their error after the fact, and their past would have been wiped clean. He would have given them a new slate. And that's the same is true for each and every one of us. We all probably have some things in our past that we are ashamed of, embarrassed of, wish we would not have done, but that can be wiped clean by simply saying, Jesus, I need you. I am in need of a Savior. I have made mistakes. I still make mistakes on a daily basis. I need more of you in my life. The more of him that we invite into our life, the less mistakes we will make. You cannot be walking through life with him and be making mistakes unless you are doing them deliberately. Then you really have not repented and really turned to him. Stumbling along the way, it's still very much part of the process. It's called sanctification. It's a process of becoming holier, but will never be completely holy on this side of heaven. Our completion will come when we get to the other side. But that doesn't mean we don't try while we are here. And Jesus is willing to welcome you regardless of where you're at in your walk today. And I, for one, am incredibly grateful for that, for an opportunity to spend more time with him, to become more like him, even though I'll fall short along the way. I'm not making that as an excuse. That's just the reality of it. I'm human. He knows how flawed we are. He experienced it for himself, but yet he still offers mercy and grace, something that I will have a lifetime of trying to understand, but never fully will, but am fully grateful for it. And my hope is that I go out today and live more like that, live more with that gratefulness in my heart, and that others can see that reflection of Jesus when they encounter me along the way.